Hello, this is Top Preps Player Interviews by Sunil Sunder. Today, I'm happy to be speaking with Ian Shadden. Ian just wrapped up his junior year at Legacy High School in Midland, Texas. Will be a senior this upcoming fall and a left-handed pitcher and outfielder on the varsity baseball team. Once again, Ian, great to be speaking with you again after a long time, and congrats on your success.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me on here.
Hey, no problem. Let's just talk about this past year, especially the 2024 season,
Yes, sir.
putting that number 10 Rebels jersey on. Uh, you'd sum it up for everybody how everything, transpired for you here, Ian.
Yes, sir. So my junior year, I would say that it was a bunch of learning for me, especially as you get into like the older years of your high school year, getting ready to go to college, graduating, trying to go play somewhere. It shows you that players need you have to put in the work to be who you want to be, and a lot of people think it's just going to be given out to them. And some people it works out for them. Talent takes them a long way, but as you get older into these years of high school, you have to really accept that. Do I want this? Am I going to be what I want to be? And you got to get down and grind and be the player that you want to be. And my junior year, I guess you could say it was just a lot of learning how to develop into the player you want to be, learn what you're good at, especially taking that and advancing it to the next level and just trying to be the best player you can be in your own shoes.
Yeah, no, definitely. And, when we talked in the first interview, just in terms of the qualities, just the regimen. I think in terms of the strength and conditioning, the nutrition,
Right.
the rest and recovery, the mental health.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
Playing year round. And before we came on the air, I said you've bulked up, going from 5'9" to 6'1",
Yes, sir.
155 pounds to 185.
Yes, sir.
Workout regimen. You've been with I think a throwing guy who played at Baylor for the Detroit Tigers, and also with the hitting coach Nico Velarde. Talk about that. I mean, because being able to work with the professionals now
Right. Yes, sir.
has been crucial in your success here,
Right.
Ian.
Yes, sir. Being able to work with guys like that just gives you a feel of like what to expect when you get to the level and what it takes to be able to be the players that they were able to be.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Being able to be in front of them has also taught me that they're big. I mean, they're strong guys.
Yeah.
They don't have any flaws in their body. They're going to be strong in every parts of their body. Uh, it really showed me that each individual time that you have with them, you have to not take it for granted because everything that they're out here teaching you is going to eventually come up and be something important to you in a game situation or something like that, just because of the simple fact that they were able to do it and be able to play at a higher level too. So they're teaching you these things that they encountered when they had a flaw in their game, and
Mm-hmm.
they want you to know that so you can get over the adversity of the tragedies that they faced when they played.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And look, your journey has been remarkable in terms of where you came from and what age you started, playing baseball, making that full-time commitment, making varsity as a sophomore,
Yes,
uh,
sir.
as a relief pitcher and outfielder, junior year a pitcher, an outfielder. I mean, it's got to be very fulfilling for you
Right.
again to see tracking your progress, but seeing where you've been able to elevate to that
Right.
next tier level, Ian.
What'd you say? How did I elevate it?
Just in terms of elevating your game, just reaching
Yes, sir.
varsity. I mean that it's got to be a proud moment for you. Like again and again and making that commitment, having that dedication
Right.
again
Yes,
is
sir.
so critical. I mean, and again, not everybody's cut out for that.
Right. Yes, sir. Just that being able to make those accomplishments gives you the motivation to be a better player yourself. Like it makes you want to strive for whatever is next on the table. Like high school varsity baseball, and then now the next one's like college baseball. Like I want to
Mm-hmm.
be able to say like, yeah, like I made varsity baseball as a sophomore, but now look, like all these players are getting ready to go to college and they're going
Yeah.
to be in the same shoes as I was. Maybe they even made it as a freshman. So it's just motivation to be able to be the best player that you can be.
Yeah, 100%. Look, it's great. You're a pitcher and outfielder, and we talked about in terms of implementing, I said various, techniques, the fundamentals and skills. I mean, we talked about, in terms of, and you've been able to demonstrate in terms of building up that muscle mass, having that flexibility and durability. We talked about the pregame
Yes, sir.
routines, the tosses with, your catcher, discussing those pitches, really working on the mechanics.
Yes,
And
sir.
obviously you've been really able to tailor that perfect, it's been perfect, for you. You've been able to incorporate, various pitches now.
Yes, sir.
When you're on the mound, your fastball, your slider, your changeup, your curveball. To have that in your arsenal when you're there on the mound, again, is impressive. Just talk about that because again, it takes time to again work on your craft, but again, you've been able to meet those expectations.
Right. Yes, sir. Being able to pitch with like an arsenal like that is just important just because the game only gets harder as you go. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, being able to have exceptional pitches plus pitches that are going to be able to get yourself out, swing and misses, especially at this age, because it shows off to the college coaches that you're able to have a swing and miss ball, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll only go be better in college baseball or whatever the next level may be for you. But it's just been important for me to be able to create these pitches or the mechanics of it and stuff like that, just because you don't want to be able to be a dead red fastball guy and go out there and
Yeah.
just expect to have the lively fastball and a few, maybe another off speed that's just going to get you over. But when you get to the next level, it's not going to cut it. It's not
Yeah.
going to be what's best for you or anything of that nature. But yeah, the craft has been my biggest thing when it came to pitching, is just being able to dictate what I want the ball, how I want it to move, and just relying on that um, through high school and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And hey, on the flip side, Ian, you have a terrific, stance at the plate, and your compact swing. It's really sweet to see that, on the highlight videos, being able to, spray the ball all over the field, hitting to all different parts of again, the field. I mean, again, the routine, the practices, the cage work, all of it coming together at once. Just describe that, when you're up at the plate.
Yeah, so being up at the plate, I mean, you've put in all the work um, aside. So when I get up at the plate, I'm just not trying to think about anything really, except sit fastball away and drive it the other way. They come in, that's when you
Mm-hmm.
just pull it as hard as you can. But at the plate, I really don't try to think up there, because if I start thinking, then I try to do too much up there, and it causes things that you don't want to happen, swing and misses, rollovers, all that kind of stuff, and you just get in your head. And the mentality when you're up there at the place, just let the barrel do the job. Like, you've done enough going into this that it's muscle memory at this point.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the job done.
Hey, muscle memory and eye coordination. And
Right. Yes.
that's something that people truly don't appreciate is to
Yeah.
have that, if you're you're not locked in, you don't have that eye
Right.
coordination, you're
Yes,
you're
sir.
toast. And again, you have that, again, down pat. That's gotta be, again, for you, just a significant difference and really
Right.
putting you ahead the rest of the pack here.
Yes, sir. Hand-eye coordination's huge. Being
Yeah,
able to
that's
have that
right.
tool is
Yeah.
ginormous.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, let's talk about playing the outfield. And last time we said, hey, playing a quarter outfield spot, that's no easy, walk in the
Right.
park.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Communication and just, with the outfielders, but having to track down, fly balls, just speak to that as well, Ian.
Yes, sir. Especially playing in the corner outfield, it's tough, especially when you get to a higher level, because balls are slicing. It's coming off the bat, off an angle,
Mhm.
so the ball's spinning real weird, wonky. It just takes a lot of practice to, like you said, again, it's hand-eye coordination, being
Mhm.
able to read a ball early off a bat, knowing exactly where it's going to end up, and
Yeah.
that's just being able to practice over and over again. Communication's huge out there in the outfield. Being able to communicate with your other outfielders what's going on and who's got ball, to not get
Mhm.
injured, not get hurt, or cause
That's
an
right.
error. But
Yeah.
it can be a game-winning factor in those cases.
Yeah,
just a
definitely.
misconception.
Hey, let's you this past year, last year it was the Texas Baseball Ranch, which is located near Houston, Texas. Again, working on your uh mobility, your flexibility. Also the Baseball Factory All-American Tournament back in January last year, the NBA Future Stars Series Combine. Those have been, again, places where you've been again able
Yes, sir.
to work on your game and just like in terms of your pitching and hitting. Describe that. I'm sure again valuable experiences for you, Ian.
Right. Yes, sir. They were huge for me. Just being able to go to like events like that and stuff like that, because you also get to see other players that are
Hmm.
that are really good as well, and their technique is so much different because they've been
Yeah.
taught so much different. But it also works for them because they're exceptionally well at what they do, and
Hmm.
it was just cool to be able to see like other players there working on their craft, and but it being so much different, and but working with other assets and stuff that they're teaching other stuff and other particular stuff that will help you in another sense of baseball in general. And
Yeah.
it was very cool to just be able to rely on other people to teach you and stuff, and then be able to go out in these events and perform because of the simple knowledge that they know and how it's going to teach you and other stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure taking away a lot of nuggets, a lot of advice, from other players, from other coaches, really has helped you, enormously. Hey, let's terms of travel ball, summer ball, you've played the last couple of years, 2 years for Arkansas Sticks national team. Also Team Elite Nation, is I think coached by Chris Whitney. Now with the Kansas Curve 18U Baca, just talk about being with the new, this team and just what it's done for you, personally here.
Yes, sir. So being with this new team, they're actually all graduated and
Okay.
looking about to be ready to go to college, and it's awesome because you get to see how they act because they're a year older than I am,
Hmm.
and how they act because they're getting ready to go to college. It just gives me a sense of what I have to expect for next year. Uh, and it's just been a great asset to have with them there because they've taught me so much with what to expect from a college coach, from what to be ready for when you go to college, what you should be doing. It just gives you another set of brains because they're a
Yeah.
year older and they're getting ready to go to college, and it's just been awesome because they're all over from anywhere from Kansas, Oklahoma, Florida. They're from all over, so
Yeah.
it's just good to be able to hear what they have to offer when getting ready to go to college.
Yeah. That's wonderful to hear. And look, you talked about the competition, going up against the best of the best. They said more experienced players, bigger tournaments, Georgia, Florida out there. I mean, you know, you described it. You want to get your name out there. I mean, this is
Right.
preparing you for that next level, which is college. I mean, again, you can't underscore that. I mean, that's just like simply, just again, you're, building up, your own strengths, and I'm sure that's something you take stock of as well. Like, in travel, going from place to place as well here, Ian.
Yes, sir. So travel ball, I mean, it's just big because if you're able to go out there and perform, it puts a pair of eyes on you, and they just want to be able to look out for you. And it's big to me because you don't want to go out there and give no doubt. You want to be able to go out there and play with all your heart because even if you do not succeed, they're being able to look that you're giving all of your effort.
Yeah.
And no college coach wants to go out there and see you not be able to do that because he doesn't want you doing that for them. And
Mhm.
so that's just my biggest thing when I go out there is I just want to be able to give everything I have, and even if I don't succeed to my best potential, I just want to be able to them to know that I went out there and gave it all I had.
Yeah, no, that's terrific. Hey, let's just talk about Legacy High School. Making that transition, of course, from Midland Christian, here 6A school. Um, just in terms of the home games, the away games. We talked about in the past about those away games, and you definitely want to because you've heard, of course, the trash talk. But the fact is that for you, it is adrenaline rush. It
Right,
is about proving the naysayers wrong, that you
right,
do belong, that obviously your results show for themselves. I mean, again, that's something for you, I'm sure. Again, you
right.
really, again, satisfying, it's enjoyable as well here.
Yes, sir. Being able to just go out there and play home and away, or especially, I love home games, especially because you're
Hmm.
able to, you have everyone that you know is out there and
Yeah.
they're rooting and hollering for you. But away games, I like to
Hmm.
be able to go out there and play just because you said, like you said, the adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
It's a big factor in those away games because everyone's got their eyes on you because they don't want you to succeed. But being
Yeah.
able to prove them wrong with the playing well and stuff like that, it's a nail
Yeah.
biter. They don't like it, but
Yeah. Hey, I know I asked you the last time out, but let's talk about this past year and maybe more importantly the 2024 season. Any games that stood out to you that really you
um,
can put in the memory, but it's just say, hey, that's something that I'll remember for years down the road.
trying to think.
Didn't mean to
Uh,
catch you off guard, but I thought that I said you definitely,
yeah,
because I'm sure for you as the years go on, from where you start out freshman sophomore year, now you're here preparing for your senior year. It just
right.
must be flying by real quick, and like you soak in those moments and those
Right.
memories. Whether it's on the field or in the dugout.
Oh yeah. Well, I would say our last series against it was like they're probably about 30 minutes away. They're are like
Okay.
almost like crosstown rivals. They're Odessa
Hmm.
High,
Okay.
and it was a big game for us because we were looking to try to get into playoffs, and
Yeah.
they were too. We had like the same record. We were going into like the last inning. Um, we were tied going into that, and I was pitching and. Um, I went 3 up, 3 down, 3 Ks in a row, and it was just a big moment for me because I was just so
Yeah.
excited, so hyped. Adrenaline was rushing, like I said again, like
Yeah.
couldn't even feel my own body, I guess you could say. It was
Yeah.
just a sudden rush of heat.
Yeah.
But it was just awesome because just being able to go out there, and it was at home too, so it was awesome just to be able to do that for all the people and fans, and just to be able to watch our team succeed.
I'm glad you brought that up because I always ask, and maybe last time I did, from a player's perspective, whether you're up there at the mound or at the plate, what is filtering through your mind? Because I think a lot of people don't get to see that and experience it. From they can see me from afar, but when you're an athlete,
Yeah.
that's a much different vibe.
What's filtering in my head? I would probably say I try to mainly think about the most random stuff out there, just to try
Yeah.
to make my body just as relaxed as possible. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I sometimes when I'm pitching or something, I'll look at something in the distance and be like, man, like what is that? Like I'm trying to
Yeah.
observe it and make sure I know what it is, and
Yeah.
just to clear my mind and just be able to have my body just as relaxed as possible and not have to think about what's going on. But
Yeah. That's
nothing really.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, let's switch it up. Highlight videos, social media, incorporate that into your game. Obviously, Twitter, now it's X, Instagram, and your pops has done a great job. I said spotlighting you, posting the
Yes, sir.
videos. Again, that's just essential to
Yes, sir.
promoting you and getting your name out there across the country, even the
Yes, sir.
world. uh, Describe that. And you know what? I wanted to give you a couple of quotes and I love how your pops posted them. He said, "A dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes determination and hard work. Also,
Right.
remember having fun doing it. The sweat, the time, the exertion, and devotion will pay off. You're constantly pushing yourself to get better. I'm sure for you that's you definitely it definitely resonates with you, Ian.
Right. Yes, sir. So, I always just try to make sure I'm having fun doing what I'm doing because at the end of the day, it's always going to be a kid's game.
Hmm.
Uh, but I just, especially like trying to promote myself and stuff like that. Like I just look at it like I'm just getting my name out there for the coaches, but I'm still having fun doing what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm not making this. It is almost like a job, as you could say, but
yeah,
it's a hobby still. You're having fun doing it. You're making the best of it. You're enjoying doing it. You're not
hmm,
hating having to do it because then it becomes a job at that point,
yeah,
and you don't ever want to make it feel like that. And uh, through the social media stuff, just making sure I get everything out there as possible, um, letting coaches see everything I'm doing. That's
yeah.
just the biggest thing.
I think it's great because you have this routine, you have this structure in place. So I think for you, as you said, alluded to, you have to have fun doing it. But the
Right.
thing is that you've been doing it for so long continuously, so
Right.
you're not getting, tired of it. Hey, look, it's just not being an athlete, it's being a student athlete.
Yes, sir.
3.96 GPA, just outstanding, said numbers. You've been able to, knock it out of the park with that time management and organization. And I know that you said last time out, just staying on top of that work,
Right. Yes, sir.
getting, tutoring, said when available. Uh, Again, meeting those demands. It's a rigorous, schedule between,
Right. Yes,
the
sir.
practices, the lifts, gym time, then the games, travel with the way as well. I mean, long
Right.
hours, long days. But again, you've been able to meet that,
Yes, sir.
moment. How great it is, like, how, I mean, just in terms of, being near a 4.0, but like, just, I mean, again, it's just magnificent. But just talk about, I mean, describe to people, like, what it takes here, to
Yeah.
really, do it day after day.
Yes, sir. So for me, the biggest thing is school comes before sports, and I hate to say that, but it
Mhm.
has to be that way because in order to be able to play, you have to have good grades.
Yeah.
And I've always viewed it as if you have good grades, a college is never going to say no. And if you have that on top of being a good athlete, then you'll have it pretty easy. But
Mhm.
grades for me, it's just always been that the faster you get it done, the easier it's going to be. So as soon as you get assignments, stuff like that, I try to knock it out as soon as possible. Um, Going to see teachers in the morning before school starts, so I don't have it interfere with practice or anything like that. Making sure I get everything done before we leave for tournaments. That too, I get with teachers before we leave, getting as
Mhm.
much work as possible from them before I can have to come back and miss more. Just making sure I get the work in before it's late. Um, make it, and also making sure that I build good relationships with the teachers because you don't want to be that disrespectful kid that's always they're always on your case.
Yeah.
You just don't want to be a student that they have to worry about, especially being an athlete as well because you're always missing with sports and stuff like that. But that's just always been a big thing for me is always school before sports, and it'll all pan out once you get
Yeah.
that
Yeah, that's
done.
fantastic. You definitely have led by example, and it definitely shines through here, Ian. As I said before, you played a multitude of sports growing up. Baseball, football, basketball, but your brother said that you played sports since the time you were able to walk. But it said, you only the last couple of years really the commitment has been to baseball, but just to have that drive, that passion, and you talked about utilizing different parts of your body, but just being focused and locked in. That's the thing. The
Yeah,
key is that, you talk about mentally, physically,
right,
you have the best of both worlds. And that really, again, is something that is just, again, is so paramount just in terms of being able to succeed in baseball.
right. Yes, sir. Just being able to have that mentality of um, I want to be the best I can be is the biggest thing because one day I feel like if you miss one day, you're gonna get behind. If you don't have that drive that I want to be able to get the work done when no one's working, it's just that
Mhm.
the integrity of it. It's you want to be the
Yeah.
best you can be for yourself. Um, it's not that you want to do it for anyone else. It's that you want to do it for yourself and be able to provide and to be able to do the dream that you want to be able to do. So
Yeah.
I just see it as if I give it everything I have and it doesn't pan out, then all I can say is that I gave it everything I had.
That's true. That's fantastic. It's a great attitude to have. Hey, I wanted to piggyback to Legacy High School, just in terms of the student body,
Yes,
administration,
sir.
athletic department, the support for you here, and
Yes,
for
sir.
the varsity baseball team.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. I mean,
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. Hey, I know that talking about the game of baseball, you described it just in terms of what it is meant to you personally, but I know that there are some Major League Baseball players that you followed on a consistent basis, modeled your game after Clayton Kershaw, Justin Verlander on the pitching side. With the outfielders, it said Bryce Harper, Juan Soto, and now Juan Soto with the Yankees. Because Justin Verlander went to that Texas baseball ranch.
yes,
Uh,
sir.
yeah, I mean, all around, four elite baseball, Major League Baseball players to look up to and
Right.
really be able to model your
Yes.
game afterwards. Just talk about that, Ian.
Yes, sir. Just being able to pick and choose of players that you want to play like, I feel like, and that fill the aspects of how you play as well. Because being able to study other players' games is huge because you get advice from them that you've never seen because you've never seen it be done. And
Mhm.
just to be able to like slow down their swings or mechanics of pitching is huge because you get to see what makes them so great, what makes them the players that they are, and you can model your game after and just work on what they work on. Um,
Yeah,
what's making them great is what I try to figure out. What is making them that good,
yeah.
and you take that from them and you work on it yourself.
Yeah, it's cool to hear. Hey, look, you need to, in terms of structuring a family, and you've had a solid family. Your
Most definitely.
said your pops, Kevin Gilbert, a business owner. Shout
Yes,
out to
sir.
him to making this thing happen again. Your mom is a teacher's medical at Midland College. Again, older brother Lane, two cousins Shelby and Hollis, and your mom's sister and husband Aunt Stacy and Uncle David, and your pop's grandparents Carol and Carolyn. You've always said you said a big supporting and loving family, rooted in a Christian family lifestyle. Been there through
Right.
last time you said through your ups and downs,
Exactly.
and you love performing for them. As said when they're in attendance. I mean, just to have that in place, every time out, I'm sure, and along this journey here, not only with playing baseball but academics as well. Again, it's got to be just
Right.
fabulous, for you.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, being able to have a family that supports you in everything you do is awesome. Just because you can always fall back on them, and they're always going to be there for you. And like I said, like through the ups and downs, they're always going to be there. And I just love that they're able to accommodate me with everything I want to do and everything I need because that's what a
Mhm.
family does. And it's awesome
Yeah.
just because they're always going to support everything I do. And I couldn't be more thankful for the family I have.
Yeah, that's beautiful to hear. And I know this is a tough subject to talk about, but it's, I know you faced it head on, and April 1st, 2019, losing your brother Cade, who,
Sir.
sadly committed suicide, and
Yes,
heard
sir.
you were in the house when the gun went off, but you said your brother was the inspiration to you when it came to baseball, shagging and catching your home runs, and
Right.
a lot of
Yes, sir.
precious memories, and a smart kid that
Right.
Cade was. But here in the last year, you've done things to keep his memory alive and pay tribute to him. Having a special glove made in honor of your brother, getting a memorial tattoo on your forearm,
Yes,
just
sir.
about just how meaningful that is to keep your brother within
Right.
you, and then again be able to honor him here.
Yes, sir. I just want to live on his name, especially. That's my biggest thing is uh, I just want to contribute and show off his life.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, he was a big contributor on getting home run balls. That was awesome.
Hmm.
He's a big motivation to be able to hit home runs, so I can make him have to go grab them.
Yeah.
And uh, but yeah, it's just huge to me to contribute his life, and that's another thing I want to be able to do this for him, uh, and carry on his life through me, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, I again, and you mentioned it in the first interview. Losing a family member in the blink of an eye, you can't
right,
let that take you down in life. You try to become a better person, and overcoming those obstacles and challenges, the courage, the perseverance, and I think, as your pod said, mainly overcoming that adversity. And
right,
you were adopted by your pops in December 2022. You took his last name as well as your middle name, and kept the Shadden name to honor your brother. I mean,
right.
that's just, again, very poetic. I mean, just that's got to be like, again, just being able to, as you said, to keep, your brother's legacy
Right.
going.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, couple more. I know last time you said your hobbies were playing baseball, hunting, fishing, and golf. So I'm wondering, you still keeping those up, Ian?
I don't golf really anymore.
Okay.
Um, let's see. My biggest hobbies. Uh, I'd probably say, man,
I
hobbies.
think
I
it's
still
all
love. I still.
based. Yeah, go ahead.
I still love to fish. That's
Okay,
not
that's
the
good.
question.
Yeah,
Uh, I have a girlfriend now, so that's a big thing now. I
very
let
nice.
hang out with her all the time, so
Yeah,
that's another
that's
hobby, I
great.
guess you could
Yeah.
say. But yeah, just baseball, baseball, baseball.
I was
Fishing.
just about to say that 24/7, three sixty
Right.
five.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's great. Hey, before you get the final word and message here, which is well deserved, Ian, you're just, again, a hands down, uh, just an incredible role model for younger kids and
Thank you,
athletes
sir.
out there. And as you know, there's so much pressure, there's so much competition,
Yes, sir.
social media out there now. So now, for these young kids, this is not, an easy, culture, just in terms of
Yes, sir.
moving up that ladder. So I'm wondering, like, you've been, again, playing athletics for so long, and especially the game of baseball.
Yes, sir.
What would you say to those kids out there? Like, they're trying to figure out, like, hey, what sport am I good at? If it's baseball, I mean,
Yeah.
how do I succeed? How do I reach that level that Ian Shadden is at,
Right. Yes,
today,
sir.
right here in 2024?
I would say is just keep it consistent. Don't ever, if you have like a minor wall that's in front of you and that you can't get past, don't let that set you back. Always keep it consistent. Keep your routine consistent, and um, the results will come. And
Yeah.
if just trust the process, that's another thing. Just letting it provide you the path, and if you stay on that thing, there's no one that can stop you.
Yeah, well said advice. Pinpoint, right on the mark here, Ian. All right, you get the following word and message here, Ian, for family, friends, coaches, the student body, administration, athletic department at Legacy High School and the community of Midland, Texas. And I'm giving you the floor. I'm sure there are a lot of people you want to thank here, Ian.
I just want to say thank y'all so much, and uh, I enjoyed this time. I appreciate everyone out there, parents, family, friends, coaches, teachers, anyone that's out there. Uh, yeah, thank y'all.
A true honor and privilege being able to speak with you for a second time, Ian. Again, congratulations on your success playing baseball, at Legacy High School, and then of course with the travel teams, and looking forward to seeing what you do in your senior year here.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.